Good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pineiro. So, we got another storm coming, so I'm calling this, even though it's a couple days out, I'm still giving a little bit more detail for you guys. I'm going to call this the Pineiro Preliminary. So it's a preliminary forecast. This is an evolving system, very dynamic. A lot of things are at play. So this could change, but a lot of things are becoming very consistent right now. So I do want to go to the maps on the wall and show you a couple of things here. And it looks like we got a lot of winter storm watches out right now, some coastal flood advisories, coastal flood warnings. And that's pretty much throughout all the lower Hudson Valley, going into North New Jersey, and some areas in Long Island as well. Then going a bit more north, this is kind of where the significant snow ends. Once you get out of the Hudson Valley, there's only a couple of counties out there, once you get to right around the Capital District, that have a winter storm watch. Otherwise, that's pretty much it, just because it gets a bit too far from the energy source of the nor'easter. Then going down a little bit more into New Jersey here, pretty much just that northern half. And then, yeah, there's still the coastal flood advisory, because we still got a lot of water to deal with, especially with a lot more winds coming through. And then going a bit more northeast, we still have winter storm watches out for all of Connecticut, going up kind of through most of Massachusetts, but the Boston area, not so much. It's more going to be more inland for this. But we still have to take a look at some things that could be changing. Now I'm going to pull up the radar here. And on the radar, this is pretty much just showing a lot of moisture and a lot of energy. There's not really a lot of spin out of this. The low pressure, you can't see it because it's out in the ocean right now, because this is just radar on the national map. That low pressure is giving the spinning motion, or a little bit of that convection. And this, or I shouldn't necessarily say convection, but spinning motion. This is the moisture. So these two systems are going to kind of combine right over the northeast, which is going to be the tricky thing. Is that happened last time, but nothing really too much happened near the coast. We did get significant snow. Getting up near the Albany area in New York, there was up to 30 to 40 inches of snow. So this is something that we do have to take very seriously. And then I'm just going to show you a couple of these models, and my confidence is going up essentially with this. So this is the GFS. This is showing at about, this is 7 p.m. on Wednesday. That's showing a lot of snow there, but that fine line between the rain and the snow. But it looks like, again, North New Jersey, lower Hudson Valley, maybe even barely into the New York City area, a lot of heavy snow. The heavy snow goes just barely to some counties a little bit more near Albany, but once you get out near the Finger Lakes, it really starts to die off. But then on Long Island, heavy rain that's showing there, and a lot more rain in Massachusetts, kind of split between Connecticut with snow and rain. So that's the GFS, again, at about 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Next, I'll show you here. This is the Euro. Now, if you notice, it's also very similar. It's just a little bit colder. The colder air is aloft, is what it's called. That means there's up in the atmosphere a lot more colder air, thus these blue lines, which are the isotherms, or isotax, I'll call it the isotherms for right now, just for all intents and purposes. But yeah, there's a lot of precipitation right around the tri-state region, even going a little bit, again, up to near Albany. And then this is showing that 540 line, which is kind of thought to be the freezing line. That is well off into the shore, so if this is true, that would be all snow. So that's the Euro. Next here is the Canadian. Now, even though I don't trust the Canadian too much, it's interesting to see. It looks almost the same as the GFS. Very, very similar. It's showing a lot of snow in that area there. And getting out to Long Island, that's where it's showing a bit more of the heavy rain to heavy snow mix area. Again, eastern Connecticut was a little bit of more rain versus western Connecticut, more snow. And then by Boston, it's a little bit warmer, so it's more rain. So there's a lot of more model consistency. And As of the time of this recording, the new NAM is not out yet. So a little bit later, I'll show you the previous model run from the NAM. But next up, this is the Icon model, the German model. Very similar. Same kind of setup. Maybe a little bit colder in spots because it's showing a bit more snow, heavy snow along the North Shore of Long Island. But it has that kind of same setup where Western Connecticut is more snow, Eastern Connecticut is rain. Again, the Boston area is rain, but Western Massachusetts is snow, and it's kind of following that same pattern, even going up into near Albany, bringing in a lot more snow. So again, this is model consistency. This is what I like to see, and this is what drives up my forecast model, or forecast confidence with these models. This one is the Deep Thunder, and again, very similar. It's a little bit hard to see where the counties are kind of underneath the precipitation, but this is a tad bit warmer. The New Jersey, New York border is right there. So that's just bringing in a little bit more ice. So it's a tad bit warmer. And all of these are at the same time, which is roughly around that 7 p.m. or just pretty much that 7 p.m. time Wednesday, which is going to be the bulk of it. And then the NAM, as I was mentioning, this is the 12Z. It's the 12Z run just because the 18Z run is not fully out yet as of this recording. And it's showing heavy snow, northern New Jersey, a little bit more rain, southern New Jersey, more rain, Long Island. This one has snow for most of Connecticut, and it's kind of also splitting a little bit western Massachusetts snow, eastern Massachusetts going into the Boston area, a bit more rain. So that's something interesting to look at, as well as we're finding a lot of model consistency. This didn't happen last week on Friday for that nor'easter. And then the last one I'll show you real quick here. This is the RPM, or on television you would know this as the Futurecast model. And it's showing very similar. It's just that the precipitation's a little bit tighter together, so there's not as widespread of a range of precip, but it's showing those dark blues, very heavy snow. And it has snow for all of Long Island, all of Connecticut, almost all of Massachusetts, except that little Boston area there. And it's just position-wise very similar. So that's what I wanted to show you guys with the model consistency. And this is something I'm glad to see with the forecast models, because this winter has been pretty horrible with forecast model consistency. So to see, well, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 models I just showed you, showing very similar results. That is driving up my confidence to 80 to maybe 85%. The last thing I want to show you, this is, again, I'm going to call this the Pineiro Preliminary forecast map. So that very northern part of New Jersey, that's in the 6 to 12. Pretty much all the lower Hudson Valley, 6 to 12. I'm going to say north, if you kind of split diagonally Connecticut, north and west Connecticut in the 6 to 12. Then a bit more southeast of Connecticut, that's in the 3 to 6. Most of Long Island I'm putting in 3 to 6, except the very, very South Shore area, that's in a 1 to 3. The 1 to 3 also extends a little bit more along the Jersey Shore there. And then most of central New Jersey going a little bit more south. Then it starts to cut off really at the bottom of the screen there, 3 to 6. And then going pretty much into Pennsylvania right here, that is 3 to 6 as well. So that, again, is the Pineiro Preliminary. And I'm going to end the video pretty much with that. Definitely subscribe below. Hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon right next to it so you get notified whenever I upload a video or I go live. Because this is a very dynamic system. Things could change, so I will be keeping you guys updated throughout the day, tomorrow as well. I'll try and post some things on my social media accounts as well. So this is meteorologist Andrew Pineiro. Enjoy the dry conditions today and tomorrow before we have this mess of a storm come through Wednesday. Check back more for updates. I'll see you guys in the next one.